Hello everyone. Welcome to One More Thing. I'm Matt. Today, we are going to explore North Korea, a mysterious and controversial country, and uncover its most horrifying distorted regulations. The North Korean regime is notorious for its totalitarianism and extreme control, leaving people shocked and outraged. In this video, we will delve deep into the 10 most terrifying distorted regulations in North Korea, showcasing the government's extreme control over the thoughts, actions, and freedoms of its citizens. The implementation of these regulations has made North Korea one of the most closed and restricted countries in the world. Are you ready? Let's start. 1. Enforce obedience. The North Korean government uses its totalitarian methods to ensure that the people obey the orders of their leaders. This method of enforcing obedience has a huge impact on people's thoughts and behaviors. Let's look at some extreme examples to show how the North Korean government controls people's thoughts and behaviors. First, the North Korean government implements a strict system of thought control known as thought remolding. Such systems are designed to eliminate an individual's ability to think independently and critically and to force people to accept the leader's ideology. People are forced to participate in massive education and awareness campaigns to ensure that they internalize and adhere to the values and beliefs promulgated by the government. Second, the North Korean government uses surveillance and espionage systems to tighten its control over its people. Everyone is required to report their own words and actions and those of others to ensure absolute obedience and loyalty. This all-encompassing surveillance prevents people from expressing their opinions or criticizing the government for fear of reprisal. In addition, the North Korean government has implemented a strict set of disciplinary regulations to ensure that people follow instructions. People must abide by strict codes of conduct, such as not arriving late and leaving early, and not entering or exiting the country without permission. Those who violate these regulations face severe penalties, including imprisonment and corporal punishment. In addition, the North Korean government demonstrates the people's absolute loyalty to their leader by enforcing collective activities. Everyone is asked to participate in collective worship events, such as celebrating a leader's birthday or commemoration. This collective activity aims to strengthen the people's sense of worship and obedience to their leaders and to exclude the existence of dissident ideas. 2. Special hairstyle rules. The North Korean government has extremely strict restrictions on citizens' hairstyles and only allows specific hairstyles. This bizarre hairstyle policy shows the extreme control of the North Korean regime. Let's uncover these incredible rules. First, male citizens are required to keep their hair short and neat, no longer than a certain length and style. Hairstyles must comply with government-mandated standards and cannot have any personal style or creativity. In addition, edge trimming and beard grooming are strictly regulated and no excessive changes or modifications are allowed. Hairstyles for female citizens are also strictly restricted. They are required to keep their hair long and only in certain hairstyles and styles. Government-mandated hairstyles include traditional braids, headscarves or bobs. These rules exclude the possibility of alternative styles and fashions, limiting women's personal expression and freedom. Those who violate these hairstyle rules face severe penalties, including fines, imprisonment in labor education camps, and social ostracism. Such hairstyle regulations not only restrict personal image and style, but also cause serious violations of people's freedom and dignity. These incredible hairstyle regulations demonstrate the North Korean regime's extreme control over the daily lives of its citizens. Through these regulations, the government attempts to eliminate individual style and freedom and turn people into obedient and undifferentiated groups. 3. Foreign media banned. The North Korean government restricts the access and influence of foreign media in extremely strict ways in order to control the people's access to outside information. This media control has significant consequences for the people. Let's explore these consequences and how the people are affected. First, the North Korean government restricts access to foreign media and prohibits them from conducting independent news reporting within the country. This means that people can only get information through official media, which are strictly controlled and will only deliver the information required by the government. Therefore, people are unable to obtain objective and diverse news reports and lack understanding of international events and global developments. Second, the North Korean government restricts people's free access to the internet through strict internet surveillance and restrictions. Most online services and social media platforms are blocked, and people cannot freely search for information online or communicate with the outside world. This kind of restriction makes the people know very little about international events and what is happening in the outside world, and intensifies the isolation and closure from the outside world. In addition, the North Korean government imposes strict regulations on private radio listening and viewing of foreign television programs. People are prohibited from listening to and watching radio and television programs from foreign countries to prevent them from being exposed to information that is not controlled by the government. This restriction prevents people from accessing diverse viewpoints and information, resulting in their knowledge and understanding of the outside world being extremely distorted. This restriction on foreign media means for the people that they are isolated in a bubble of false information. They are unable to obtain real and diverse information and understand the development and current situation of the international community. This information blockade makes people's knowledge and understanding of the outside world extremely limited, and intensifies their absolute obedience and control to the government. 4. Family ranking system. The North Korean government operates a family ranking system that classifies and rates individuals based on their ancestry and family background. Let's explore the profound impact this system has had on people's lives and opportunities. First, the family ranking system has a direct impact on an individual's social status. Under this system, citizens are divided into different classes, such as core class, basic class and hostile class. This classification determines an individual's status and opportunities in society. Core classes enjoy special treatment and priority, while rival classes suffer social exclusion and discrimination. This system creates an unequal and unfair social environment that prevents people from pursuing success and achievement based on individual abilities and efforts. Second, the family ranking system has a clear impact on educational and employment opportunities. In North Korea, educational and employment opportunities are often related to family ranking. Children of the core class enjoy priority access to excellent schools and the right to obtain high-quality education, while children of the enemy class face restrictions on educational opportunities and unfair competition. Likewise, employment opportunities are affected by family ranking, with core classes having more opportunities to obtain high salaries and important positions, while rival classes face employment discrimination and restrictions. In addition, the family ranking system creates stress and impacts on families and relationships. In this system, an individual's family background and ancestry are regarded as important social labels. Such labels can lead to social discrimination and unfair treatment, making people feel shameful and depressed. At the same time, this system has also exacerbated divisions and mistrust between people, and even led to the breakdown of families in some cases. 5. No freedom of speech. Free speech is almost non-existent in North Korea, and people are afraid to express their opinions on government policies or leaders. This extreme restriction has left people fearful and silenced, and we will share some shocking examples of how speech can be restricted. First, the North Korean government severely suppresses any form of criticism or disapproval. Citizens are taught and indoctrinated to express unconditional loyalty and admiration for their leaders. Any criticism or questioning of the government is considered opposition to rule and an act of treason, which can result in severe punishment or even political persecution. The people are well aware that the consequences of expressing dissent may be loss of freedom, trouble for family members, or even loss of life. Second, the North Korean government controls people's freedom of expression through an extensive surveillance and reporting system. Everyone is required to monitor and report the words and actions of others. This reporting system creates a social atmosphere of fear and distrust. People dare not express their true opinions to others for fear of being reported, thereby arousing suspicion and retaliation from the government. In addition, the North Korean government's strict control over the media is also a reflection of restricted speech. All media are censored and enforced by the government and can only deliver officially required information. News and media are used to promote the achievements of the government and the greatness of leaders, while criticism and unfavorable reporting are strictly prohibited. This control prevents people from accessing diverse and objective news, resulting in extremely limited understanding of the truth in the outside world. This extreme restriction of speech means for people that they are oppressed and controlled, unable to express their opinions and concerns. They live in fear and silence, unable to advocate for themselves or change unjust conditions. 6. Collective punishment. The North Korean government operates an extreme system of collective punishment, meaning that if one person commits a crime, the entire family or community is punished as well. This system caused great fear and injustice to the people, and we will discuss the effects of this system. First, collective punishment systems bring unfair punishment to innocent family and community members. All family members or community residents bear the consequences of punishment, whether or not they are involved in a crime. This collective punishment deprives people of their basic rights and freedoms and leaves innocent people in trouble. This unjust system creates fear and distrust, preventing people from trusting the impartiality of the law and government. Secondly, the collective punishment system punishes people's collective consciousness. When one person commits a crime, the entire family or community is stigmatized and ostracized. To avoid punishment, people may be forced to sever ties with the offender or even report on their own family or neighbors. This system destroys connections and trust between people and creates an unstable and divided social environment. In addition, the collective punishment system has also had a negative impact on people's economy and life. When entire families or communities are punished, they may face reduced income, food shortages, and limited employment opportunities. This kind of punishment not only affects the offender himself, but also seriously affects the quality of life and development opportunities of other family members or community residents. The collective punishment system has caused extreme unfairness and injustice in North Korean society. This system deprives people of their basic rights and dignity, resulting in innocent people being punished. 7. Private transportation prohibited. The North Korean government imposes strict restrictions on the use of private transportation, which can only be owned by government officials and the privileged class. This restriction has caused a lot of distress to the people, and we will discuss the impact of this traffic restriction on the people. First of all, the ban on private transportation has greatly hindered people's daily life. Due to the lack of private transportation, people face the limitations of walking for long periods of time or relying on public transportation in their daily activities. This limits their freedom of movement, making long-distance travel difficult and time-consuming, resulting in an inefficient use of time and resources. Second, transportation restrictions have a negative impact on economic development. The ban on private transportation has hindered commercial transportation, the circulation of goods, and the operation of the market economy. Businesses and farmers face difficulties in transporting products and raw materials, which has severe constraints on developing the economy and improving people's living standards. In addition, traffic restrictions also bring inconvenience to people's social activities and communication. It is difficult for people to participate in social activities, visit relatives and friends, or attend gatherings. Such restrictions deprive people of opportunities for social and cultural exchange, and have a negative impact on community cohesion and individual mental health. Transportation restrictions have led to inequality and injustice in North Korean society. Only government officials and the privileged class can own private transportation, while ordinary people do not enjoy this convenience. This inequality leads to social divisions and dissatisfaction with the government. 8. No independent judicial system. North Korea's judicial system is completely controlled by the government, with courts simply following the leader's instructions. This lack of independence and impartiality in the judicial system has serious consequences for the people, and we will discuss the impact of this system and how citizens are treated unfairly. First, the lack of an independent judicial system prevents the law from effectively protecting people's rights and interests. Since the courts are merely instruments of the government, judicial decisions often reflect political intentions rather than being based on impartiality and legal principles. This situation makes it impossible for citizens to rely on the judicial system to safeguard their rights and justice, leading to the destruction of the rule of law and the decline of civil society. Second, the lack of an independent judicial system leaves people vulnerable to unfair and unjust treatment. The government can manipulate court decisions at will to achieve its own political ends. This gives the government the opportunity to arbitrarily arrest, imprison and punish those who question or disobey its regime. Citizens may be found guilty without a fair trial and subjected to torture and inhumane treatment. Additionally, the lack of an independent judicial system adversely affects the economic and investment climate. Businesses and investors may feel uneasy because they cannot rely on impartial legal and judicial institutions to protect their rights and interests. This situation limits North Korea's economic development potential and hinders the possibility of external investment and economic cooperation. In summary, the lack of an independent judicial system in North Korea has serious consequences for the people and society. Citizens cannot rely on the judiciary to safeguard their rights and justice, and the government can arbitrarily manipulate judicial decisions to achieve its own political goals. 9. Foreign travel prohibited. The North Korean government restricts citizens from traveling abroad, leaving such opportunities available only to a privileged few. This travel restriction has had a profound impact on people, isolating them from the outside world, and we will explore this impact and its consequences. First, banning foreign travel limits people's knowledge and understanding of the outside world. Citizens are unable to experience other countries' cultures, values, and lifestyles firsthand, which limits the expansion of their vision and knowledge of the world. This isolation makes the people vulnerable to state media propaganda and political indoctrination, lacks understanding of different viewpoints and diversity, and limits their freedom of thought and ability to think independently. Secondly, banning foreign travel deprives people of their human rights and freedoms. Travel is one of the basic rights enjoyed by people and can broaden horizons, promote cultural exchanges and personal growth. However, the North Korean government limits this right to a privileged few, denying the majority of its citizens the freedom and opportunity to travel. This unfairness limits people's freedom and equality and exacerbates social inequality. In addition, the ban on foreign travel has adversely affected North Korea's economic development and international exchanges. Tourism is one of the important economic pillars of many countries, attracting foreign tourists and promoting the development of tourism-related industries. However, due to travel restrictions, North Korea is unable to fully exploit the potential of tourism, missing out on opportunities for economic development and international exchange. Finally, the ban on foreign travel isolates people from the outside world and limits their understanding of international human rights and democratic values. This isolation makes it difficult for the international community to understand the true situation of the North Korean people and to provide them with effective support and assistance. At the same time, this also limits the people's awareness of seeking freedom and democracy, preventing them from benefiting from the values and experience of the international community. In summary, bans on foreign travel limit the freedoms and opportunities of the North Korean people and isolate them from the outside world. Such restrictions have a negative impact on people's knowledge, freedom, economic development, and international exchanges. 10. Collective worship. The North Korean government uses collective worship activities to convey the leader's prestige and dominance. These scenes of collective worship are incredible and reveal how the North Korean regime controls the religious beliefs and ideas of its people. First, the North Korean government organizes large-scale collective worship activities, such as military parades and rallies, to demonstrate the greatness and authority of the leader. These events are usually held in special venues, such as Kim Il-sung Square and Kim Jong-il Square in Pyongyang. Thousands of people are forced to participate in these events and are required to show unbridled loyalty and admiration for their leaders. Secondly, the North Korean government inculcates people's feelings of admiration for their leaders through collective worship activities. People are asked to hold up photos and portraits of their leaders and perform collective singing and dancing to express their reverence for the leaders. This kind of religious worship creates a sanctified atmosphere, making the people regard the leader as a transcendent existence, and enhances their absolute obedience to the leader. Additionally, the North Korean regime uses collective worship to weaken or eliminate other religious beliefs. Religion in North Korea is seen as a potential rival to the leader's authority, and the government restricts and monitors religious activities. People are asked to put worship of the leader first and regard the leader as the only object of faith. This kind of control and suppression makes it almost impossible for other religious beliefs to exist in North Korea and leads to the violation of people's freedom of religion and belief. Finally, collective worship is also used to enhance government social control and surveillance. People are forced to participate in these events and demonstrate loyalty to their leaders. Governments use these activities to monitor and assess people's political loyalties, and to punish and repress those who do not meet requirements. This kind of social control makes people feel fearful and threatened, limiting their freedom of thought and ability to express themselves. The video ends here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. You are also welcome to share your views and experiences about these artifacts in the comment area. See you next time.